What's the deal, fellas? It's your man's Vic the Visionary, aka Vic with a Vision. Never giving up is a topic of discussion for today. I'm not going to take too much of your time, man. We're going to jump straight into this and then we up out of here. So, the majority of men don't believe they're on a proper pace in life due to certain situations. It could be career paths, financial discrepancies, childhood traumas, and the list goes on. But I'm here to tell you, men, that's not the case. For instance, the majority of millionaires don't become millionaires until the ages of 45 to 60. And that's for professionals like doctors, lawyers, and hell, that even goes for celebrities. Now, speaking of celebrities and celebrity figures, Stan Lee, despite the fact he'd been dealing with comics ever since the age of 16, this man didn't see his first success launch until the age of 39. Steve Harvey been dealing with comedy at the tender age of 31, so he's pretty late to the game, man, at 31. But with that being said, his money was so low and his credit was so terrible, he wasn't able to purchase his first car until the age of 38. And let's not forget about Samuel L. Jackson, man. Like, he didn't see success until he reached his 40s. And if y'all know anything about Samuel L. Jackson and his story, the brother was actually addicted to drugs. And he still overcame the odds at the end of the day. And to keep it 1,000, man, not everybody wants to be a millionaire. Yeah, people want a couple racks in their bank account, to be able to generate a couple $100,000 a year so they could live comfortably. But there's no age limit on success. So I say to you, just because things aren't where you feel they should be doesn't mean you don't have a chance at all in life. Like I always say, man, life is a journey. Life is a marathon. And don't always think you're supposed to have everything when you're young. That's why I say social media is such a mentally dangerous place for us all. I talk about our generation and how we suffer from the overnight syndrome. But damn that. It's all about setting a plan to what you actually want to do and pushing through the drought. You see, the fear of failure is actually being afraid of trying. But if you put your best foot forward, there is no failure. All you could do is accept the results that you received, and if you don't like the outcome, simply try and try again. Everyone is born with gifts, and you got to get the most out of them. Even if you acquire new gifts as your journey continues, you got to get the most out of these blessings. And how to strengthen these gifts is by never giving up and giving your best. You see, you never know your destination until you do everything you possibly can. Sometimes it even takes thinking outside the box with these gifts. Success doesn't always come at the cost of what's conventional. It takes creativity. It takes effort. And effort is the main tool used to succeed. You see, effort doesn't take any physical stamina. It takes ambition. And if the ambition's willpower is strong enough, it will never exhaust. Will there be a time you need to rest your mind? Of course. Or take the day to relax and gather your thoughts? Yes. But that energy never dissipates. Plus, we all know the definition of insanity is repeating the same acts over and over, expecting a new result. So if all you do is get on social media and play video games, but you work hard at your place of employment, but within a year there's no promotion, you should be making some changes. Like during the time you're on social media, you could be studying cases and accounts to, make yourself well versed. And during your gaming hours, you can actually put in some work and do some OT. Putting our best foot forward is all we have. There's no way that we could change the results we get out of life, except if we adjust the effort we give it. Otherwise, we're playing games with our lives. We're playing games with our time. And as men, we don't have any time to waste. We must add value to our lives, or sadly, die with regrets. So let's say, even if you don't die physically, if you give up on your life, you die before death. So you're in the world of the living, but you're dead on the inside. You're dead mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It doesn't matter how tough the obstacles get, man. You gotta persevere. Obstacles rise to the surface for us all, but even obstacles bow down to extreme effort. Have you ever watched a sports game that had one team that was obviously way better, and then on the other team, they had at least one player who wouldn't go down without a tough fight? That's extreme effort. That kind of remind me of back in 2001 with LA Lakers versus Allen Iverson and the Philadelphia 76ers. Despite the loss, you have to accept the results of your very best effort and leave it on the table. Life isn't easy. Have you ever heard anyone say life is easy? have you ever heard any successful person say life is easy? Life is a tedious battle, man, and everything is war. There's no magic words I could say or any special visualization I can show you, brothers, to gain the ambition to put your best foot forward out there in the world. That's something you got to strictly find within yourself. But what I can say is, whatever you use to fuel your fire, you need to strictly base it upon yourself. Don't base it on a car, because one day you'll get that car and your ambition levels will drop. Don't base it on women, because one day you'll get a woman and your ambition level will drop. Don't even base it on your kids, man, because one day your children will turn 18 and then it'll be their time to shine and step out into the world to find out what their true ambitions are. Always base your motivational factor on yourself. Never use the outcome as your motivator, but let the excitement from the process motivate you. Then once you complete a task, you'll have enough energy and enough drive to tackle the next one. You can even feel the adrenaline from the process. And no, it's not from competition. It's not even from competition with yourself, but it's the feeling of enhancing your craft. So with that being said, I do appreciate you, brothers, for taking the time out to tune into another episode of the Regular Man's Podcast. And quick shout out too before I forget. I'm starting to see the ladies is watching the podcast too, and that's hella dope. I do appreciate you, ladies. All the little DMs and feedbacks that I'm getting, little discussions to talk about next. That shit means a lot. But like I was saying, man, let's continue to contribute towards society in a much positive manner, and let's make the irregular regular. It's your man's Vic the Visionary, aka Vic with a Vision. Yeah.